Welcome back everyone, it's Who's57 here. We are back on Neverwinter on the Xbox One, and today I will be covering farming in the Neverwinter Winter Festival. Anyways, this is probably one of the better events that they've come out with. I kind of like it a lot better than the Halloween event and a couple other ones. And you can pretty much come to this area at any level, but you have to be level 15 to actually get your free gift. So there's a couple quests that you'll pick up over here every single day from the mayor, one of which will give you a coupon for a free starlit parcel. You can buy those, and basically what we'll be farming for at the moment is two things: the Light of Cimmeral, which is what allows you to buy all the weapon transmogs, as well as the different companions like the Ice Sprite and those little interesting things, which the Ice Sprite is pretty cool. Also doing this, at least one of the ways you will be able to get more of the stars than just the one per day, which is what allows you to buy things such as the Ice Mimic and the little sleigh that you see over there. So the first way that you can do this, and I'll just grab a bank to show you, is actually through, well, you get them one of two ways. It's the little starlit parcels, and basically you open them up and you get the Gift of Cimmeral, which you release in a group, and you can do that. That's gift farming. You'll see in the chat there's people wanting to do that. And it works out okay, except if you go into the Zen market, you'll see that those gifts cost 100 Zen each, other than the one that you get for free. So you can spend a fair bit of money on it, and that can get expensive pretty quickly to do. Also, there's a lot of people on here that are very dishonest, and they will not match you gift for gift. They will say that they will, and then they don't actually do it, and it can be kind of hard if everybody's releasing their gifts quickly to actually make sure that you get, them to match the number of gifts that you do. So the slower but safer method is two parts. First off, to participate in the events as they come up, such as Monsters on Ice, and it's pretty easy. You can basically just come in here and grab a couple groups of enemies and kill them relatively quickly. You don't have to spend much time in the actual event, but you do want to do them because you get the rewards to actually level up your fishing pole, which is the main source of farming for this event, is actually fishing, which is kind of strange, but you know what? Whatever. You can't get super fantastic rewards from fishing. You can get some decent things from fishing, but kind of personal preference on that. Now I'm going to go over there to the actual fishing area, get out of this, because I got my couple kills there. I got rank 3, which is all you need. You'll get at least 5 to, say, 20 Lights of Cimmeral, but you come over here, and this is the fishing spot. It's usually very busy if there's the fishing event active. I like to come to one of these areas that has a few fishing holes all close together. Now you'll notice that some of the holes are white light coming off of them, some green, some blue, even very occasionally purple. The light coming off the hole indicates the rarity. The rarer the hole, the better your chances are at the rare fish. Also, you will want to level up your fishing pole, which is very easy to do. You simply go into your professions, and there's a brand new profession, the Cimmeral Light Crafting. Basically, you have to get light pods, which you can either do through the profession or through fishing, turn the light pods into refined light pods, and so on and so on, until you get to the point where you actually make these nice little light clusters. And as you go, you make the items that you need to level this profession up until the point you can make your brilliant angler's fishing pole. You also want to make the memorizing lures, or you can buy purple lures for 100 Zen. That's up to you. When you're fishing, you can get the golden Zorp, which increases your quality of your catch for 1 minute. So what I like to do if I'm farming, I'll use a hook, which are very cheap to make, and Sometimes I'll use the golden zorp, but I prefer just to use the hook and then find a fishing hole and just keep fishing. Now, the fish will stack up in your inventory, or they will stack up in your overflow bag. And basically the whole point of this is you will turn the fish in quantities of 10, except for candlefish you only need to turn them in 5 at a time, and that will give you more light of Cimmeral. Also, while you're fishing, you can get the soddened pouch, a soaked purse, and then you can also get a waterlogged bag. There's several different types of fish, basically all corresponding to their color rarity. So you have white, green, blue, and purple, except for then you have the bait fish, that golden zorp, and that one is still a purple category, but it's actually a bait fish, so it improves your catch. Sadly, you can't use both the fish and the hook at the same time. And you can sell the hooks on the Tarmaloon Trade House. You can also sell the golden zorp on the Tarmaloon Trade House, which means that you can go ahead and buy those too. So if you're too lazy to make them, you can buy them. But you're either going to have to get into one of those gift farming groups, which, you kind of take your money in your own hands if you do that. Or you're going to have to sit here and fish for a considerable amount of time. As you can see, I don't really have 10 of any fish at the moment, but I'm pretty much pulling one out every time since I'm using that hook. And most of the fish trade in for like 1 light of Cimmeral, 2 lights of Cimmeral, 5, depending on the rarity. Candlefish, of course, trade in for the most, but you can just sit here and literally do this for as long as you possibly want. There's also a fishing event, and if you're doing this while the fishing event is active, you'll automatically get points for the fishing event, and that means that you'll qualify for more rewards like light pods and the light of Cimmeral and those nice little interesting things. As you can see, my blue hook already ran out, so we'll go ahead and use a golden zorp real quick, and you'll see that there's not really much of a difference between the golden zorp and the blue hooks that you can make. Personally, I don't think it's worth spending the 100 Zen on the purple hooks, but that's kind of personal preference. If you have the Zen to spend on it and you want to, go right ahead. Otherwise, you're just going to be fishing for a while. And you can see that I've got a waterlogged bag there in my inventory, so I'm going to just keep fishing for another minute. There's a candlefish. They're a little bit harder to get. There's a soaked purse. And then I'll put the fish, I'll turn them in, and I will show you what you get out of the little soddened purses, soaked purse, and so on and so forth. The wet bag or waterlogged bag can have the best resources in it, but for the most part you only get light pods and things like that. You can also make some astral diamonds by going into your professions and taking the light pods and refining them into those light clusters that I showed you earlier, and then selling them on the Tarmaloon Trade House. At that point, they're worth about 500 astral diamonds each, give or take. Sometimes they sell for more, sometimes they sell for less. It just depends on what the market's doing at that time. I'll show you the rewards that I get from the monsters on ice in another 30 seconds when that ends. So let's see, how many fish do I have left? Okay, I got a good number of fish that I can turn in. I don't have enough candlefish to show you, though, so I was hoping to pull a couple more of them, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. There we go. That's one of the things that you can pull, is an unlucky angler. Basically, it's just a skeleton. They're very easy to kill, so kill them and go back to fishing. Sometimes you pull them a couple times in a row, which is unusual. So I got 15 light of Cimmeral and a winter kill emblem just for going into that event, killing a few things. The events last for 11 minutes, and then there's usually like a 2-minute to 3-minute delay in between events. and then the next one will pop up, and it pretty much cycles through the slalom course, the monsters on ice, and then the ice fishing. Seems to be the most likely pattern, most consistent pattern that I've seen at least. And it doesn't look like I'm going to be pulling another 2 candlefish here. So I will give up on that in a few seconds if I don't get another candlefish, just for the purposes of the video. But we'll show you what we did get for Light of Cimmeral. And you can keep fishing literally as long as you want to. So I'm just going to put my fishing stuff back in the bank. It is nice if you do have the ability to drop a bank for yourself, because unfortunately your fishing pole and your lures and everything like that take up inventory space. But you can turn in the brown best for 10 for 1 Light of Cimmeral, or a brown brim, whatever you want to call that. I don't care. You can turn in the black jaws for 10 for 2 Lights of Cimmeral. Then you can come over here and turn in the blue for 10 of the bluefish. Gives you 5 Lights of Cimmeral, and I think it's like 5 or 7 or something like that for 5 of the candlefish. And we'll just go ahead and get rid of the rest of these fish because they're not that important. Now the best rewards, of course, they come from the waterlogged bags, and sadly they are bound to characters, so you can't fish on multiple different characters. Most of the time they'll give you light pods, those are useful, and then a basic crappy little jewelry treasure item that usually doesn't sell for anything. Soaked purses, pretty much the same thing. Sometimes you'll get a single seal of the drake or the unicorn, which at least you can sell for money or gold, so it's not a total loss. Then the soddened pouches, there we just pulled another golden zorp, so that's one of the ways that you can get your bait fish, and again a basic very low level treasure item. So mostly items that aren't worth anything, but the whole point is the fact that you're going for the Light of Cimmeral so that you can actually get, like I showed you, either the Ice Sprite Companion or your weapon transmogs, anything like that that you might want. And like you see there, another contest just popped up. That's the fishing contest. So basically all you have to do is participate in the contest and fish an awful lot. Or you can spend Zen and buy the fireworks. Or not fireworks, but buy the little starlet parcels. And some of the weapon transmogs look pretty decent. Like I actually just bought the one here for my paladin because that looks cool. It actually is a really nice hardened shield, snowflake looking thing. And it is not bound to character, so you can actually trade them and sell them. It's kind of personal preference. They really don't sell for anything right now, but if you did hold on to those transmogs, they probably actually would sell for a decent amount later on down the road, because some of them do look really cool. And we'll just take a second to apply that, and there you go. You can see my paladin actually has a pretty cool looking shield now, which is awesome. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, make sure you leave a comment. Otherwise, smash the like button and remember to subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, guys.